Hundreds of thousands of federal workers about to feel the pain of missing their second paycheck tomorrow, but President Trump's Commerce Secretary, who just so happens to also be a billionaire, Wilbur Ross, doesn't seem to get it.
Mr. Secretary, there are reports that there are some federal workers who are going to homeless shelters to get food.
Well, I know they are, and I don't really quite understand why. There's no real reason why they shouldn't be able to get a loan.
Do you worry about safety at this point?
Well, I do worry about safety, and it's kind of disappointing that the air traffic controllers are calling in sick in pretty large numbers.
Let's go to Oklahoma City. That's where NBC's Vaughn Hilliard is at a food bank. He is talking to air traffic controllers. We heard from the Commerce Secretary there. What are you hearing from those FAA workers, Vaughn?
Yeah, good morning, Craig. Commerce Secretary Ross, he questioned why federal workers would be showing up to a food bank. Well, to give you an idea, there were 755 families that showed up this last Monday here at the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma that are federal workers. And I want to introduce you to one of them, Craig, Ileta Young. She works at the FAA Academy. She is an instructor for teaching potential future air traffic control specialist electronics. And I asked her that very question and what ultimately led her here. To note, she is also a volunteer. She was actually their volunteer of the quarter last year. She volunteers Tuesday night, Wednesday nights, and Saturdays, and now she is one of those very individuals that are using the services. This is what she told us.
I haven't had a paycheck since 4 weeks. It's been 4 weeks, and I'm waiting for my unemployment to kick in. My whole paradigm has changed. I was on top of the world, working hard, you know, being able to help my daughter when she needed it. And now I need help. Now I need services. And that's the hardest thing, to have to stand in a soup line. It's tough, it's difficult.
I asked Ileta what her message to Washington is, what her message is to Secretary Ross, and she told me that she'd encourage them to come out and volunteer, because then you see what people are going through, the trials in their life, the bills they have to pay, the health care issues that they are facing. And she said that this is the very situation that she thinks that Washington needs to see and understand. Secretary Ross only perpetuated the stigmatization of people coming to food banks, and that is her big concern. She'd encourage federal workers to go forward if they need that help.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.